Robert Reid, the General Secretary of First Union.
Kia ora koutou. It's great to see so many people here. I must apologise for my voice, which may even leave me during the speech. But in fact, my medical affliction may be a bit of a metaphor for why we are here today. We are here to actually give voice to the Palestinian people who have no voice in their own land, little voice around the world, and to give voice to to oppose the US Zionist propaganda machine that with Goebbels-like precision tells us every day that black is white, that night is day, that Palestinians are the aggressors and terrorists, and that Israel and its settlers are the victims. We know that's not true, and we know that it's an absolute outrage and tragedy that the oppression of the Palestinian people has been going on for so long. I still remember as a school kid, dare I say 50 years ago, listening to BBC World Service each night and actually having to turn the radio off in tears every time there was a story on what the BBC called the Middle East. I was so upset that day after day the killings continued and the situation seemed to be getting no better. That was 50 years ago. But today, 50 years on, little has changed, and in fact, in many ways, things have actually got worse. And now we have 2 million Palestinians living in a concentration camp of 350 square meters, just over 40 kilometers long, and in most places less than 10 kilometers across, surrounded on all sides by hostile forces, and now the suffering and bombardment of ground attacks. The other reason why it is perhaps good that I've almost lost my voice is that I can perhaps be more reflective and less belligerent today. I can do belligerence, but I also want, and it has been mentioned previously, to talk that as well as shouting about the situation in Palestine, which does make us feel good, we must do more to make sure that we are part of the international movement to bring down Israel and the global Zionist group. More and more recent analysis, and it's happened today, that the Israel-Palestine conflict has correctly been described as apartheid. The parallels with apartheid in South Africa are stark. But 40 years ago, when we were beginning the anti-apartheid movement in New Zealand, and some of our people went over to South Africa and met some of the liberation fighters like Steve Biko. Steve Biko from the Black Consciousness Movement said, "Thank you for your solidarity, we appreciate that very much, but also you have a job within the West. You as a white have a job within your society to make sure that we start the dialogue with people to bring them and take them out of this global Zionist network." And so even later on today, as we pass them, and we will be silent when we pass Jews, and there may be progressive, and I'm sure there are progressive Jews amongst us today, we must remember that we are standing with those people against Zionism, against racism, and for the freedom of the Palestinian people. Kia ora koutou, thank you for coming.